Good afternoon, Trani and friends, and welcome to this week's, I think, special edition of Patio Ponderings. Today I come to you from God's great big tent. That's my patio today. And that's where we've been all week in Vacation Bible School. We've been in God's big tent as we've been learning that God welcomes everyone and we are called to do the same. We're learning that God's tent is big enough for all people, that God's love is big enough to cover all people, that there is grace enough for all people. And it just so happens that one of the stories that we've had is the story of Jesus and the Samaritan woman at the well, which is one that we just had on Sunday. And so just a quick reminder of this story. Jesus is traveling through Samaria, and you might remember that the Samaritans and the Jewish people are enemies. They do not like each other at all. And Jesus comes to a well at high noon, and he's thirsty, and a woman is there drawing water. Now, already we should be seeing problems, that this woman is of the wrong country. The Samaritans have vastly different beliefs than the Jewish people, so she's the wrong religion. Jesus shouldn't be talking with a woman at all in public. That's a no-no, so she's the wrong gender. Plus, she's got this background that's full of heartache and secrets and tragedy. And so everything about her should be wrong, and his disciples don't know why he's talking to her to begin with. But nevertheless, Jesus offers her living water. Jesus demonstrates in his care for this woman that God's tent is big enough to include her too. But what I've been thinking about this week is a particular detail in the story. See, when the woman comes to the well, she's coming there to draw water, and so of course she's got a water jug with her. Jesus gives her living water, eternal love and eternal life that only comes in and through God. And so when she goes to tell the village people where she came from about Jesus and could he be the Messiah, and to tell them about this living water, the story says that she left her water jug behind. What an interesting detail to mention in the story. And when the writers of the biblical stories include details, there's usually a reason for it. And so I've been thinking about that this week. And what might that reason be? What does the storyteller want us to hear in that? And here's kind of what I've been thinking. That when we have a thirst in life, when there's something empty in us, when we're longing for something, we want to fill it up. That's natural, right? But so often, instead of looking to fill that space with Jesus, to refresh ourselves with Jesus' living water, we turn to other things. And some of those things are normal things of our lives, right? We might go all in on our jobs. We might look to our parenting and our children to fill that space. We might look to sports and other activities to fill those space. And sometimes, though, we find that even those are good activities, good things in our lives, that just doing them more, doing them harder doesn't fill that space. And then sometimes we look to things that aren't so healthy to fill those water jugs in our life, right? Sometimes we look to materialism. We look to buying more stuff, more toys, cars, houses, boats, electronics, shoes, right? That's my issue. Or we look to things that are really not good for us, things like drugs, things like alcohol, gambling, things that can really take us down a dark path. And so here's what I want us all to think about today. Jesus' living water, Jesus' love, the life that we can have in Jesus Christ is there to fill any emptiness that we might be experiencing in our lives. So what is in your water jar that you need to leave behind? When you leave the well, when you leave the well, what needs to stay there as you move forward in Jesus' love and Jesus' life? That's a big question to ponder, but a very worthwhile one. And so I wish you all a good day. I wish you all a good week. And may you all know to the core of your being that God's love is big enough for you too. Bye.